Alright, so for this tutorial, we're going to be comping this scene right here. I've already used it in my nonetheless edit, but I figured this is a pretty good scene to show you how I do like my kind of dark type of comp. What I want to start with here is getting a depth map. I think I already have one, but if not, I'm going to make one right now. Alright, there we go. Now we have the depth layer imported, and it lines up like this. And we're going to be using this for some DOF, some fog, and some of the particles. Alright, so I have my solid with my fractal noise 3D. You can copy the settings from here or from the project file in the tutorial folder. It basically moves like this to give you an example what the movement would look like. And it's luma matted to a depth map that looks like this. I'm going to add some other stuff and I'll show you what I did. Right, so I've added two other layers of different types of fogs I like to use. So at the top here I have this one. This is basically like a wind gust of black fog at the start. So it looks like this. And this is basically a black solid with the preset that's going to be in the effect folder in the pack. It's called, let me check real quick. It's fractal noise wind gust. You're going to apply this to a solid and then add a black solid underneath and set that to luma inverted matte, and it's going to give this effect. And then I added another fractal noise and it looks like this. It's more of a general fractal noise, you could say. It's just these subtle fog lines, I guess. These are also going to be in the pack. It's called general fractal noise. These two together with the background fog animated, I added some movement with the offset settings. Is going to look like this. And I'm going to be adding some more stuff and I'll get back to you again. Alright, so next, over everything, I copied my clip layer, added a composite brush and comped out the red eyes, and that also took the sky with it. I set the layer to add, inverted the composite brush and added some deep glow. And that gives these glowing eyes effect. Now the reason you want to add them over everything is because if you add them underneath all the fog, it won't do as much. But because you add them over top, it's basically going to look like the glow is shining through the fog basically. You can also just see these little highlights over the corners of his eyes, which looks really cool in my opinion. But yeah, it gives the glow a more realistic effect, like his eyes are actually, glowing. Alright, so next I added this red fog that kind of flickers in and out. The preset for this is going to be in the red and black fog section right here. And also, I'm going to make a quick change right now. For your depth layer on your fog, you want to add a little bit of... First you want to check... Yeah, so I'm going to have to invert this. For my depth layer, for my fog layers, I want to invert it and then add some deep glow. Set it to maybe 300 and up it to just keep that one, should be fine. Now the reason we're going to be doing this is because this will make the fog blend in over our character a bit more. So we're going to disable it and then select the other luma matte option. As you can see, this will make the edges of our character a lot more blended in. We're also going to do this for the other fog layer. There you go. You can see that our fog is blended in a lot more. I just forgot this in the first step. Alright, next I want to add some effects on his eyes. So I already did this fade in with a solid. And I added this underneath the eyes so the fade in on the eyes can be different from everything else. I'm going to add a flicker onto the eyes. Next we're going to be adding some particles. Alright, so I added these particles and I'm going to show you what I did. First layer is this one. These are a couple larger particles, mainly for foreground. A lot of movement. These are in the overlays folder in the pack. Next up, we have another overlay, some smaller ones that are supposed to be more for background. Next we have, this is main particles 4 from the particle presets in the back. This one's for foreground, so looks like this. Next we have particle 4. This is also main particles 4, but I moved it back a lot, like this. And these are again for background. I am kind of overdoing it now, you can definitely tell, but this is just mainly to show you how I like my particles. Alright, next we're going to be adding some effects and then see where we go from there. Alright, so I started off with some bokeh. This is bokeh start from the effects folder. I did change some stuff, but you can also just make this into a preset yourself if you want. It's also going to be in the project file from this tutorial, of course. So this is the bokeh start. It fades in like this, and then it flickers twice. Alright, next I added the 4 p.m. constant shake. I did change the amplitude from 0.03 to 0.015 just to make it a little less. And now I added some flicker. Alright, next thing I did is I added anamorphic lens blur. So this is basically an effect that's also in the folder, by the way. This basically creates depth of field, but it'll stretch out either the foreground or the background vertically. You can also set it to horizontal, but this is, I think, what the term anamorphic means. I'm not a pro, bro. I just do this shit. But yeah, as you can see, it basically blurs out the background and it stretches out the particles vertically a little bit. And it also does the same to the foreground at the start and the end. Yeah, as I said, presets also in the folder. So yeah, let's move on to the next thing. All right. So next I added a little bit of colorista to bring variation into the brightness levels. So I did that by keyframing colorista like default at the start to 3-way, and increasing the highlights, lowering the midtones, resetting it, and then doing the same thing a little bit again. It's gonna look like this. Alright, next I added this solid flicker. So basically it just flickers out like this, and I'm going to be combining this with some more 1-framers. So now I added some 1-framers. I'm not going to go through each and every single one of them. They are all in the pack though, so you just look at what I did in the project file and take whichever ones you like. All of the presets for them are in the pack, as I said. Now we're going to be adding a CC and some texture, and then it should be done. Alright, so basically after this, I just added this CC. It consists of colorista, looks, and some re-noiser. And after that, I added in shake, which I did not make myself because I can't make shakes. So that's not going to be in the pack, sorry. But all of the assets that you see for the camera overlay are going to be in the pack, in the assets folder. I used only things from there. So yeah, just use whichever ones you think look good. I did this with the little camera thingy, but yeah, I like adding some assets over top of my video. So yeah, this is basically it. I'm gonna be dropping some more CCs and tutorials in the Discord soon. Let me know what y'all want to see, but this is the main comp. All right, thank you.